Suzie, as you peer forward into the future, how has the future changed? Has the future changed for your career field, either positively or otherwise? And I tend to think of things like, how will your consumers' behavior change? Will they be different? How will product or service be different? How will the competitive landscape be different?
I mean, one thing I think, Jeff, about that is we don't know. We are 16 weeks into this experience and still understanding what will sustain, what is durable, what are trends in consumer behaviors that will continue, and what will really be limited to just this period of time. I think there are some interesting things that will sustain in marketing because there's been so much disruption and people's habits haven't been able to be kept. So maybe there was the favorite grocery store, the favorite restaurant, the favorite kind of circuit that you would do when you were doing errands in your neighborhood. And because you can't do that anymore, you may have discovered some new places where you can procure some of the things that you buy or some of the experiences that you have. And I think those will be the really interesting behaviors to watch from a marketing perspective, is which of those are durable and sustain over time. One thing that's been interesting for us is an advertiser, a company that we never really did much business with, is Big Lots. And they're a big box discount grocer, and they are one of the most ambitious advertisers on the Waze platform right now, which makes sense because people don't have as much money. They're looking for other alternatives. Maybe their usual food grocery store opportunity wasn't as attractive in this time, and so now they've been opened up to a new opportunity. So does that stay after the pandemic? Do they continue to shop some of the new patterns, or do they go back to before? But I really think it's too early to tell. It's only early July. We're at the very beginning of Q3. We're only 16 weeks into this experience, and I really think we need to get through to the end of the year and then kind of look up and try and figure out, okay, really where are we now? What are we working with? What looks like it will continue on? What looks like we can shift? I think one, for most business leaders, focus. That when you are in uncertain and tricky times, that focus usually drives results. So paring back down to the really critical strategies that are really core to the health and the growth for your company. And that is what we're doing at Waze. That's, I think, what most companies are doing right now, is really paring back to what's going to be most meaningful and set you up for best potential growth and opportunity in these very uncertain times.
And as you think of the future, what are your hopes?
I think that people get to realize still much of what they had hoped for or intended to realize. I mean, for the team that I currently manage, there's a couple hundred people globally. Some people are doing really well in this time. Some people are really struggling, and the experiences are really individual. Some people are on their own and have been for 16 weeks. There's one woman I'm thinking of who had just moved to New York City. She's in her mid-20s. She's on her own. She's working from her apartment. She hadn't built up really a friend group yet. Think about that, how isolating that experience is for her. So I think part of what I hope for is that people get to continue on with the aspects of life that were so interrupted in March and April. I think it's going to be a while until the business climate returns to normal. And we have to kind of, again, wait and see.